What is going on, everyone? Badger here. Should like and sub, and let's get into this. Take everything we're about to read here with a grain of salt. I have heard some of this, but like the newer stuff, I'm just hearing it for the first time, and I'm a little bit pressing X to doubt. It's Endymion, so I'm giving him a little bit more leeway than I normally would. But yeah, okay, let's get into this. So this is rumor. Assassin's Creed Shadows originally featured a male Japanese main character, and the game could be delayed even further. So that first part, claiming that the game originally featured a male Japanese character, I have heard that. Granted, this Assassin's Creed Red, codename Red, when it was first talked about, was right after the Summer of Love, when we started hearing that all of a sudden we were going to get a black protagonist in your Japanese samurai. And everyone was like, well, like Afro Samurai? Why would they do that? And pattern recognition was high, but wasn't quite what it was now. And so, okay, so that part, but, and also talking about it being delayed even further than February of 2025. So we all know that it has, in fact, been delayed till at least as of now, February 14th, 2025. And of course, they cited the absolutely abysmal launch of Star Wars Outlaws and how buggy it was, and how that they were going to take the time, as they said, to provide additional time to further polish the title that would enable it to blah, 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 that go forward. And they were going to give everyone that ordered it the expansion pack for free. And that's basically where we left it. This comes from Endymion. Like I said, shout out. I heard a little bit about this where I saw him post, but this is his full release. So it says he's spoken to a number of individuals at Ubisoft who have all worked for the company in the past, and claims that the game could be delayed even further, and that the game originally featured a male Japanese protagonist instead of Yasuke. So here it is. Here's the rub. Grain of salt, Endymion. Here we go. Shared. My sources told me, however, that they heard February 2025 is simply a placeholder release date as of now. Apparently, this is because Ubisoft is scrambling and they need certain key talent in order to assist on a Q2 game release, which, if you don't know what that means, there's 4 quarters to a calendar year. So Q2 means Ubisoft has something that they think will hit that is coming out later in the year that they need help on. So because talent at the studio is working to make that future release come out more smoothly, Shadows is not being given the extra hands it kind of needs right now. So like I said, the release date might actually be pushed back even further. So they need more work than they have hands to do it with, or at least talented hands. And Endymion then revealed his sources told him the game originally featured a Japanese male protagonist. Had heard this before. I was also told when they originally saw the game, there was indeed a male Japanese protagonist with their own finalized art and even animations, because of course Yasuke, being a very tall black man, bigger than any Japanese person, was given custom animations, and jumps into the hay, he falls and rolls out, all custom, all specific to his character. They don't know if this character will be reintroduced to replace Yasuke, but they are skeptical that Ubisoft will actually remove Yasuke altogether due to the whole political, backlash they'll get from journalists and so on. The biggest of press X to doubt. They will not remove Yasuke from the game. I don't even think they'll be able to reduce him based on how they've done. The only thing they can do is double down and try to refine it and make it palatable. He said they did say that the game's first act is heavily story-driven until it opens up to your more traditional open-world Ubisoft experience, and that the big hurdle there is, if they were to remove Yasuke, would be to practically change almost everything about Act 1, so to speak, if they were to remove the character entirely. So could they remove Yasuke with this already done but thrown aside Japanese character? It's a big maybe, but they said that they weren't sure. Again, press X to doubt. They also told me they heard rumblings that Sweet Baby Inc. may have had a hand in Shadows, but they can't confirm that 100% yet. So take that, Alec. We're taking all of this with a huge fat shot of skepticism. As for when the Japanese male protagonist was sidelined, he said the game did first include a male Japanese main character, but they were swapped sometime during 2020. Boy, what happened in 2020? Summer of Love. When asked why Ubisoft chose Yasuke over this male Japanese character, he said, they said that Ubisoft was heavily influenced by the socio-political events of the time, with stuff like, and oh no, I'm not kidding, George Floyd dying, fentanyl overdose, the riots, and Black Lives Matter exploding in support. Sometimes when you're right and you think you're right, and then you're confirmed that you're right, even though I didn't need it confirmed right there, but hearing it again doesn't hurt. Ooh. Ubisoft may have opted to include Yasuke in order to pander to identity politics because of Black Lives Matter. Yes, 100%. That is why they did it. Furthermore, he shared that his source informed that Ubisoft was horrified by the response to Yasuke from the fandom, and they actually thought including him would be a really big selling point for the game. They apparently believed by inserting Yasuke, they could garner and pander to the modern audience. Because you believe the lie that modern audience wants that shit. By the way, there's no such thing as the modern audience. They don't exist. Every time you try to pander to them, we end up getting the horrible things that we've gotten. God, and that just shows you how tone deaf they actually are, that they thought that this would be embraced. Also providing that the thing that they actually spooked Ubisoft more than anything else was how Japan reacted to the one-legged Torigate figurine. And remember, that was the one that, even though there are other destroyed ones, it very specifically invoked the destroyed one from the Nagasaki explosion. Remember that there's merchandise products where Yasuke and Naoya are standing on a symbol of Nagasaki getting the atomic bomb dropped on them, and yet these characters take place in Japan well before that happens. And this culturally devastating piece that proved that Ubisoft was not adequate enough to make the game or really know anything about the time period, it led to the higher-ups admitting defeat and demanding that the game get a cultural do-over, if you will. They wanted things to be more authentic because the one-legged Torigate incident was so embarrassing and baffling that they didn't want anything else like that to happen again in their history. And this is all on top of getting a bunch of things historically and culturally wrong, and then having the fucking balls to call all the Japanese people white people using translators when they correctly voiced their opinion. It's absolutely disgusting. Sharing that they chose February 2025. As of now, from what I'm being told, February 2025 is being chosen because Ubisoft believes there will be a AAA gaming drought around that time period. So they're hoping that they can capitalize by releasing Shadows then instead of November 15th, which was the original plan. And then he goes in to say that, yeah, he thinks they're going to push back even further. One of the things for sure getting removed from Shadows, according to my sources, is indeed the rap and hip-hop music for Yasuke, you think. Apparently, Ubisoft brought out a questionnaire, and they were unanimously told that the rap music was tonally wrong and completely unneeded, and that it was actually offensive that Ubisoft believed Yasuke needed a hip-hop battle theme in a game that was set well before such music existed, and it was only implemented because Yasuke was black. Yes, that's correct. The height of a fucking racism. Oops, they did a racism. They're also going to be removing dialogue from the game that, according to my sources, told me that it would actually enrage players if they heard it. He added, I wasn't given concrete examples of what kind of dialogue, but the source assumed it may have been Yasuke saying some sort of socio-political pandering and shit. These samurais, this police is bullshit and shit. I bet you that's what he was going to say. And he hates white men and white supremacy must be abolished, blah, blah, blah. They're also removing this because, of course, if that were in the game, it would be absolutely be highlighted and used to detract even more from the people. Holy shit. Holy shit. So I don't believe for 1 second they will actually remove Yasuke, but all that other stuff tracks 100% with what we have been hearing, saying, and so on and so forth. Oh my God. Let me know what you think of this. Rap music for Yasuke and talking about abolishing white people and white supremacy. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? Oh boy, I can't wait not to play this, or I might have to play it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Either way, you let me know what you think of all this. Make sure to like, share, and sub. If you have done that, thank you. If you're going to do that, thank you. And
well, bye.